They say the devil is in the detail. We're not here to sell you propaganda or obscure the true picture, but we are here simply to lay down the facts in black and white, rather than the 50 shades of gray they parade around outside after a true distortion of the true image. Before you is the Limuru Girls' School. The motion of today is, should the government bail out companies like Mumias, Kenya Airways, Uchumi when in trouble, or should the companies be left to figure out for themselves how to get out of the negative situation that they're in? So welcome. I'm Lynn Ndungenzioka from the Limuru Girls.
Agnes Morino Diambo from the Limuru Girls School, and I support the fact that the government should really bail out these companies. Surely, think about the families that will go hungry, the number of workers across the country who are going to fold their mats and go back home empty-handed. Poverty, increase in crimes, homicides, and all sorts of ills that could erupt. Surely, as the great country that we purport to be, we can create a better picture than this. So the government should do something.
Madness, they say, is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. These companies have been bombarded by management that seems to know nothing about what they're doing. For example, Uchumi, which has been opening branches just to close them, or Kenya Airways, or Mumias Sugar, that has been reporting millions in profits, but incurring losses worth billions. Surely, will you give out your hard-earned money to them for possibly, inevitably, failure? Think about it.
I beg to oppose my opponent. Seriously, this is our country we're talking about. These are our companies, Kenyan companies. Will you just leave them to die and they're ours? No. If it's a problem about the management, just overhaul the whole thing and put new leaders. Then surely we can see if there's going to be something new. Then if there's no change, well and good, leave them to die. But don't just jump into conclusions and say that we cannot help them. We as Kenyans have a role to play. Just don't let these companies die.
Chimoli Delquin from the Limuru Girls School. My opinion about this motion is these companies should not be bailed out because the companies are failing for obvious reasons. Amongst the reasons, we have poor pricing. For example, we have KQ. They charge expensively on their tickets, yet there are other airlines that offer similar services at cheaper prices. We don't expect a common mwananchi to go and be exploited by KQ when there are other airlines. As long as KQ still holds the pride of Africa, I do not think KQ will still stand in the market. This is because only the pride people or the proud people are the ones that use KQ. And how many proud Kenyans do we have? Okay, proud people are associated with big money and extravagancy. Even though these proud people don't have money, they still have something to show. As long as KQ still holds the pride thing, Kenya won't go anywhere. KQ should be left to collapse, or it should change its pride of Africa to standards of Africa. Thank you.
Competition. Yes, competition is real, and competition is everywhere. Think about a world with no competition. It will be such a boredom. For instance, if Uchumi goes down, the other investors will surely relax, and hence there will be production of low-quality products. So the presence of Uchumi will make the other investors improve their quality of product and also enable them to stabilize their prices.
Lack of diversity. This is a problem that's scabbing all companies, but especially the companies that were listed, Uchumi, Kenya Airways, and Mumias. They seem to just be dwelling on the same exact thing that they started back when we didn't have independence till now. It beats logic to follow the same path when it's leading you nowhere. With that in mind, they shouldn't be bailed out because eventually they'll come and do the same exact thing. Save your money, invest in a better future, don't waste time on dying companies.
We all talk about corruption. Corruption here, corruption there, corruption everywhere. We eagerly stand up to condemn those who take part in it. But just sit down, hold a meeting with yourself and ask yourself, do you take part in this or do you have a hand in this? We are the ones who want to let Uchumi go down. Uchumi actually started as a government investment. We, as the common Mwananchi, now see where our money goes to. Say Uchumi falls down, where will our money go to? People's pockets, their accounts. Is that fair for the common Mwananchi? No, it is not. So we have to see where our money goes to. It is better to see your money failing, it has done something, than for it to go to someone's pocket and make his stomach big.
I find no point in always talking about corruption. If the companies are corrupt, why should we get hold of the companies? Let them collapse and remain with the necessary evils we have than have the unnecessary evils that we do not need in the society. That is corruption.
Agriculture is the backbone of our economy. So Mumia's sugar comes down. You don't care, right? You don't care. You go and invest in some other areas. How sure are you that this area you're investing in won't fall down and another one rise up? In the same way, if agriculture is falling, we shouldn't let it fall. We should help it rise up. Then after we are done, we can go and develop other areas. It's basically common sense.
Believe me or not, it is better if you don't know where you're going to, but it is worst and not worth mentioning if you don't know where you're coming from. Some of these companies, for instance, Uchumi, they do not know the reasons why they exist in the market. Uchumi was established in the market to act as a price regulator in the market, as a refuge to the customers whenever they feel exploited by other supermarkets. But what is happening now, Uchumi is among the highest pricing supermarkets we have in Kenya. So if you don't know why you are where you are, if you're seated there and you don't know what you're doing there, you just seated there, wasting resources, wasting the government's money. I don't see the reason why you should be helped. It's better you continue sitting where you are, fail, and let people forget about you.
All right, you have 1 more minute to wrap up.
We all want a good name, don't we? Imagine our Kenya without our pride of Africa, without Kenya Airways. Walking to the airport only to see the lanes that were once graced by our airlines replaced by different ones. Being served by attendants who are not of our own heritage, knowing only that we could have done something. Ask yourself, this wouldn't be a better Kenya, would it?
They say nothing focuses the mind better than the constant sight of a competitor who wants to wipe you out of the game. But after all is said and done, the decision lies within you. For only 2 things that one is supposed to do, your own dying or your own believing. The choice is yours.
All right, ladies.
And all things do come to an end. We came not to justify the existence of these companies or be critics of its significant downhill retrogression. Rather, we came to shed light on a very important issue, a key determinant in Kenya's tomorrow. At the end of the day, the decision lies in your hands. It is you who is going to make that choice. Remember, it is not worth counting what you have lost. Just see what you have now, because past never comes back. But sometimes the future can give you back your lost things. Remember, you have a choice to make. At the end of the day, the one to win or lose is you.
Thank you very much.